Just 4 minutes. I know life can get crazy. Problems pile up, and sometimes it feels like there's no way out. You might even think God has forgotten about you. But here's the thing. In just 4 minutes, I want to remind you why God is still real, still powerful, and still with you today. So let's talk about it. Look, from the very beginning, when the world was dark and empty, God spoke. Let there be light. And light pierced through the darkness. That same voice that created the heavens and the earth is the same voice that whispers hope into your heart today. Don't let the enemy fool you into thinking God is far away or that he doesn't care. No, God is near. He's involved, and he has plans to bring you through whatever you're facing right now. Remember that. Think back to when the Israelites were trapped. On one side was the raging sea, and on the other side was an army ready to fight. They thought it was the end. But God, he's the God of impossible moments. Moses stretched out his hand, and the waters opened up, parting the sea so the Israelites could escape. What looked like defeat turned into freedom. And you know what? God can do that for you too. When things seem hopeless, that's when God shows up in a big way. Remember young David, the shepherd boy who stood up to the giant Goliath. Everyone expected him to lose. But David knew something the others had forgotten. The battle belongs to the Lord. With just a sling and a stone, David hit Goliath right in the forehead, and the giant fell. The world saw that day that God uses the weak to shame the strong. No matter how big your problems look, don't lose heart. God is on your side. Picture this. Daniel, a man of God, was thrown into the lion's den, the place where the next morning they would throw in food to keep the lions strong. Everyone thought that Daniel would be torn apart by those hungry lions. But guess what? The God who made lions closed their mouths. That night wasn't his last. Daniel walked out of that den without a single scratch, alive to see another day. God took care of him, and he will take care of you. Your God is in control. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They chose to stay loyal to God, even when King Nebuchadnezzar made a huge golden statue and told everyone to bow down. These three friends wouldn't bow, so the king got really mad and threw them into a burning fiery furnace. It was so hot that anyone who went in would be burned to ashes in an instant. But guess what happened? As they were thrown into the fire, another figure appeared with them, one like the Son of God. And when they came out of that furnace, they didn't even smell like smoke. And here's the biggest. God sent his Son into the world, not in power and wealth, but in a manger, wrapped in humble surroundings. Jesus came to heal the broken, love the forgotten, give sight to the blind, and set captives free. He spoke with authority, calmed storms with a word, and even brought life to the dead. But his greatest act was on a cross. Where others saw defeat, heaven saw victory. 3 days later, the tomb was empty and death itself was silenced. These stories aren't just history. They are reminders of who God is. The same God who created the universe. The same God who parted seas, shut lions' mouths, stood in the fire, conquered the grave. He hasn't changed. When you feel surrounded by problems, remember the Red Sea. When you feel too small, remember David. When you feel trapped by fear, remember Daniel. When you feel consumed by trials, remember the furnace. When you feel hopeless, remember the cross and the empty tomb. God is not far away. He is closer than you think. He sees your tears, he knows your battles, and he has not forgotten you. Believe again, hope again, trust again. Because the same God of the Bible is still the God of today, and he is writing your story with love, purpose, and victory. Listen, when life gets hard, don't run from God. Run to him. He'll give you the strength you need for the race. You've got this. Stay strong. Keep going. God bless you all.